let's flip a coin. Head Carolina, tails California, somewhere greener, somewhere warmer.
Hello, it's Andy Graham of hoboontheroad.com. I've traveled nonstop for 16 plus years and went to 101 countries. I'm in Malta, I'm in St. Julian Bay, and I'm holding this camera up, but it's a little hard to do. Oh, I'm starting to get in the shade. The sun's really hard to concentrate when the sun's shining in your eyes. Okay, Wayne asked, Andy, did you ever get sick on the food or water in your world travels? And beware the Ebola plague. Wayne J. I got extremely sick in, let's see, where was that? Niamey, Niger, Africa. And I think, on hindsight, what I got sick on, I was cooking some, I take canned beans and vegetables. I try to get my vegetables right. And so you have to be real careful when you're buying a can of vegetables. I got what I think was food poisoning. I was delirious for almost 5 to 10 days. I had diarrhea. My legs were tingling for months on end. I mean, I actually, they were hurting so bad that I put them in hot water a month later and they still hurt. It was, on hindsight, I should have went to the doctor. I just basically, I had nobody to help me. Boy Genius in India actually wrote my mom, was worried about me because I kind of didn't have any way to communicate. The internet was so bad in Niger at the time that I wasn't able to contact them, and that was me getting sick. Now, as far as getting sick on the water, I actually think I think 90% of people have what I call type 2 diarrhea. They ate a wrong combination of food that their body didn't agree with, and then they get diarrhea. And then they blame it on the water because it's just like cliche, right? That's the easy thing to do. In my experience, the way they wash the dishes in the 5-star hotels or the things is never sanitary. They don't let them dry all the way. And like the hostel, you know, well, I just go, it's just not a sanitary environment. The amount of, you always drink the water, okay? So I don't really think of getting sick by drinking the water. But, you know, of course, anybody that hasn't traveled very much and changes bacteria, they're going to get sick. But the bigger concerns I have is the foods we eat. I really worry more about food than I ever do water. I just drank the water in the hostel I am right now, and everybody says there's a sign says there, don't drink the water. Of course, a lot of times they want to sell water. But the point is, you really got to know your body well enough to know what foods go through your body fast and which ones. Like, I know that if I ate half a coconut, I'll be in the toilet tomorrow. If I eat too many peanuts, if I eat raw peanuts for sure, if I eat too much cabbage, I know that supposedly cheese blocks me up. I know that bread sort of blocks me up. I know which foods, and I don't think we're all the same. I think, you know, but I try to eat raw food, and actually there's a real good video on the internet about these guys eating raw food, and they're all kind of farting, and they have an actual part in the raw food restaurant where they have fans and they all can go fart, because this raw food stuff is really tough on anything. I cannot eat a raw food vegetarian diet all the time, or I wouldn't be able to get on the bus, because I would have to find a toilet. Now, I'm not saying that it's not healthy to go to the toilet 3 times a day, but on the bus, this is, for a traveler, this is really not a good thing. But you got to know your body. You got to know what foods go through your body, whether it's fruits or vegetables. I mean, I know that if I eat too much pineapple, I know which foods, I can't list them out right here, but when I'm eating foods, I'm aware of my bowel movements. And that is more important to know than not drinking the water. Not drinking the water is the simplified, non-savvy level of intelligence on this thing. It's about knowing your bowel movements. But when you're buying any kind of canned food abroad, you got to feel the can, see if it's bloated, make sure there's no dents in it, no scratches, and try to look at the expiration date. and then cook things, right? I mean, cooking food completely kills almost everything. But I'm more worried about people that, as far as I can tell, the people that get the sickest are the people that don't eat the street food and eat the five-star hotel restaurant food. And the reason is this, that they don't throw away food. So they'll have food that's really bad, and they just serve it up to the tourists because they know the tourist is going to leave, right? And they refuse to lose any money. And, you know, obviously, well, it's quite obvious to me that there's very few countries on the planet that have the level of cleanliness and sanitary that the United States has. I could really talk all day about Europe here. It's been kind of humorous in a way because everybody wants to act like they're first world, and you started saying, okay, maybe you started to be first world after the Marshall Plan, but the truth is they still have cultures that are almost antiquated in their methodologies and stuff. And it's not, you have to be vigilant, you have to make the decisions of yourself on what you eat and never trust the restaurant. I look at the people serving my food, I look at the waitress, I look at the restaurant, I walk around, I make a decision whether they seem like the type of people that would serve me food that is good. But you're going to get diarrhea. I don't know how you're going to avoid it. If you're going to travel long enough, there's going to be times when you ate the wrong food. I'll give it a story. When I was in Argentina, I was with an Argentina girl in Brazil, and two different things she did. She was in love with mangoes, so she started eating mangoes all day long. I had this happen in Guatemala with a German girl. She ate mangoes all day because she loved them. It's a food that she couldn't eat all the time, so they started eating 5 a day. Well, she got sick. And then I was drinking the water, and the Argentina girl started just drinking juice all day instead of drinking water. I finally had to buy her the water, because you need water, right? You don't, just because I'm drinking the water doesn't mean you don't drink the water, but she did it. But all this stuff is independent. At the end of the day, it's all about being introspective and knowing yourself. Okay, Andy Graham, Hobo Traveler in Malta, trying to talk about getting sick. You're responsible for your health, and if you don't know what gives you diarrhea, time to pay attention to your body.